What a night it is! What a night for Rocket League action! What a night for the Rocket League Splash Series! This is the sportiest stream, and this is an amazing match. Under X Chroma, Affinity Reborn, the #1 seed in the playoffs, awaits the winner of this match. And joining me here, AnthonyMalum, to see the best of the best play in their final week of the regular season.
Appreciate you for having me nonstop RLSS tonight, coming off the heels of a Game 5 for Cyclone Cup. That was ridiculously exciting. Down to 3 seconds to go. The final goal came through. I mean, if this is anything close to that, and anything close to what it shows to be on paper, this is going to be an insane matchup tonight.
It is. It's one match, one series, two teams undefeated. 100x Chroma, the 135 esports organization, Affinity Reborn, and as I already mentioned, these teams are undefeated. They're 6-0. Their seasons have seen them lose no matches. But tonight has to be their first for Affinity Reborn. Their weeks have gone well, but their last week was a Game 5 against a relatively weaker opponent. 100x Chroma, they've shown this insane consistency, this insane ability to always find wins, even in some of the most unlikely situations. If we take a look at their season so far, you'll see that reflected here at VML, the fact that these teams just continue to win. And for Chroma, it's not been easy, but I mean, look at these teams. They win regardless in very different situations.
Yeah, it seems like the biggest thing seems to just be the fighting through aspect they're able to pull off. And with playoffs around the corner, that's the exact kind of stuff you have to lock down. You've got to lock down all the fundamental stuff. And from here on out, it's got to be picture perfect and playing above and beyond. Your IGL, their calls, they got to be perfect. Your team's trust has to be on point. You got to be able to keep momentum up, keep the vibes, the morale up after a loss goes bad. And both teams so far this season have shown they're able to do that. But showing you're able to do it all of the time, that time's almost up, and playoffs are quite literally around the corner. So this is that last sort of chance to get that last bit out, but you have the added pressure of not wanting to have an L next to your name.
Yeah, and what only makes this worse for 100x Chroma, they're already not the favorites in this matchup. Affinity Reborn are by far the favorites in almost any series they played, and that includes this matchup. 100x Chroma, it only gets worse with the fact that they have to play the sub tonight. Thunder having to play instead, so it only makes things tougher when you have to add a sub to your roster. And for 100x Chroma, a team that is so team-oriented, this is going to really put a wrench into the situation, because when you play against Affinity Reborn, this is a team that works together, that doesn't change. And for 100x Chroma, they've got to bring that same intensity with a roster that just isn't used to each other.
It's going to be tough, but sometimes in those highest of pressure moments, that's where some stuff can kind of just work itself out with momentum. I mean, in games like Rocket League and in other games where the skill difference can be pretty significant from one player to the other, there is still that little bit of room for the human element of playing up in the big moment to give your team the big moment they need. So there is that chance. There's always the chance for the underdog to pull through. If you were going to do it, the final week of the season would be the perfect time to do it, because we're talking about momentum, Sporty. If you're able to bring down that top dog and rise up as the underdog, you're going in the playoffs with a whole new mentality. You're going in confident, brushed off shoulders, just ready for more and ready to make it run all the way through, potentially.
That's the nice thing about this for 100x Chroma. I mean, you mentioned the underdog mentality. They've not really had a feeling like that, but they have gone to Game 5 a lot this season. I mean, already 3 of their 6 matches this season have gone to Game 5. That's a pretty startling statistic for any team, and it's not nonetheless a team that's won every single time for 100x Chroma. So for them, they're a lot more used to this. For Affinity Reborn, they're not so used to this kind of adversity. They've only gone there once, and that was last week. So for Affinity Reborn, if they don't get off to a good start, this series could fall apart for them quickly. And 100x Chroma, they're good at that. They're such a unique playstyle to play against. Again, it's such a team-oriented side, which is rare for 135 esports teams. And the way it works is it works so well because, again, if they can get some momentum, they can ride off that, and they could be the best team here.
One thing that, even just from the game I had previously, running straight into this, the game-to-game matters so much, too. I mean, there's always the conversations you hear and the caster talking points of Game 1, how important is it? Does it set the pace of everything? Does it mean everything? Or is Game 1 that sort of feeling out ground, that testing ground for what the series has to bring? In the set we've seen tonight in RLSS most recently, it was the testing ground. It was the figuring out, okay, we got to do this to get them to do this and weaken this. In this game, I'm looking for exactly that, and I need 100x Chroma to come out as strong as they possibly can in that game one, because I need every game to be a best of one from them.
As you said, every game, it means so much to these teams. It means so much to that mentality they care here as these teams, again, just getting things set up, ready to go. And really, it's going to be quite the night for these teams because there's so much pressure on them to perform well. And, well, for both of them, they've not had too many issues so far, especially for Affinity Reborn. They have been by far and away the best team here, so you really do wonder how they're going to deal with this adversity because, again, they've only gone to Game 5 once. That was last week. They won it, but this match is a whole lot tougher, and coming off of such a shaky game, they might start to second-guess themselves, which is the last thing you need to do in this situation.
It just comes to that what we talked about, that mentality, that ability to kind of brush it off of you and say, we go next, we regain. Even if you do win, like you said, depending on the losses you take, it can feel bad. I mean, just because you win, say it's a best of one, just because you win the best of one, if you won 8-7 and you had to get 5 goals in 1 minute to make that happen, it still doesn't feel great, and your VOD review isn't going to be great after. So that's the kind of stuff that where your team chemistry and having a strong leader, strong synergy, that all that stuff matters the most, because you've got to be able to say, all right, we're better than that performance, we're better than this performance. We don't have to go in expecting to go through a struggle. We can go in expecting to dominate and then react to everything else and just pull ourselves through it.
As, man, what a match this is. Prediction poll is closing up in just about a minute or so. Again, we're waiting on these players to join on in, but as soon as they do, I know that they are really practicing. They're really going for, really working to get this match ready because, a match like this is really going to be a tester for the playoffs. Like, these are playoff teams. These are going to be teams that will make the playoffs and probably do very well in it. You just have to think they are, because these teams, even if they lose, they're still the second best team in the entire division. Like, think about it that way. Not even just their group, the division, all the teams playing in Tsunami Cup. Whoever loses is still considered the second best team. So, no matter what happens, there's, even so, this is a match that really determines playoffs. Are you going to be that good team in the playoffs? How are you going to play in the playoffs? Who is going to be your ceiling in the playoffs? And we're going to find that out very soon tonight. Which team will be better than the other, and which team's probably going to be the better team in the playoffs, at least by how they're playing tonight.
It's that raid boss, that DPS check mentality. It's that, all right, let's limit test, see what we can handle. What do we have to work on? This game matters so much. Going into the playoffs undefeated, being able to take down, in the case of 100x Chroma, taking down the big dog, being the underdog, all of that does matter. But you can also zoom a little bit closer in and say, it matters in the sense of what are those last remaining issues before the playoffs? Because you aren't going to get a better test than an undefeated team, even with circumstances being a little bit weird, a little bit up in the air. This is your best chance to figure out, okay, turns out we're a little bit weak on those rotations in the last 30 seconds. We get a bit panicky. Or, hey, maybe we got to work on our passes when we're trying to go off the sidewall because the sidewall ends up being just not the target and we hit the ceiling and now we've given them a shot. Whatever it might be, it's your last real chance to figure it out, because if you try to figure that stuff out in playoffs, you're going to find yourself 1-out.
It is. It's again, the thing about the playoffs that makes it so scary is that single elimination. That your season can end in the very first round, no matter how good your season has been. And so, for these sides, they really do have everything, on this match. Really, this is a good match because even if they do lose, they're still going to the playoffs and they're still a very good team. So that's the nice thing about this. There really isn't that pressure to do well, but that creates the pressure to do well in this circumstance. And so these teams really do need to treat this thing as seriously as they can. My goodness, again, I can't talk about a match that's any more, impressive on the score sheet. On the score sheet, I think, to end off this season. It really was perfectly drawn up. So, thank you, Tommy. I think he's the one who... Actually, it's Soj, who's one of the players in this match who made the bracket. So Soj knew what was happening, I think, because he made the bracket where his team would go undefeated and play the other undefeated team by the end of it.
I was going to say, who let Soj cook?
It's Soj. Yeah, I was going to say, Soj made the bracket, who's the captain of Affinity Reborn. And I love this, because now we get to talk about the fact that he unknowingly has put his team in a terrible position in the last week to play against a really scary opponent. So I absolutely love that Soj did that. And Soj, you can only blame yourself. I know he's watching this. You can only blame yourself, Soj, on making yourself have the toughest first match at the very end of the season.
Never one to mince words, Sporty. especially right before the break. You got to come out strong and just lay it out there.
Yeah, I mean, generally when I talk to teams, I like to have easier matches at the end of the season, but so I guess going the exact opposite of that here for this one. Just up in the cards lined up that these two teams would be the best of the best in the Tsunami Cup and would face against each other here. And you know, what's also crazy about this is the fact that these teams may not be in the Tsunami Cup next season if they stick around. There's a good chance Affinity Reborn, there's a good chance they stick around, they're probably going to that Cyclone Cup. And so, you know, to win a championship in RLSS, pretty big deal. This might be their last chance doing the Tsunami Cup.
Yeah, it might just be, like you said, it's sort of the last chance in a million ways. It's the prom night, you know? It's the big moment. It's just a matter now of who's going to be the prom king and queen. Where do you go from here? Are you staying a bit lower on? And I know we're still waiting, and we're really getting that kind of that anticipation.
Yeah, no. We're not doing this intentionally,
they
guys.
got us waffling up here.
We are
with
not doing
excitement.
this intentionally. Affinity Reborn are trying to get one of their players to join them. So, again, apologies on that. I promise you, again, this is not intentional. We're not making you guys wait for this match.
We're excited too.
We just have to wait for this match because Affinity Reborn don't have their third player. How embarrassing it would be for them to end their season on a forfeit loss. Man, that would suck for Affinity Reborn. You go for this entire season, you have to play this really big match, and you don't because one of your players isn't there. So we're hoping that you have their entire roster for this one. This is, again, I promise you, not intentional. We just have to wait until Affinity Reborn join the lobby. 100x Chroma are waiting. Credit to them, they've been in this lobby ever since the match start time, but we're waiting on Affinity Reborn. I really hope they get that player soon so we can actually start this match.
I know, I mean, he's going to keep calling me Chuckles. Let's get Tommy in there or something. I mean,
I don't think Tommy would want to play in this. I know Tommy, he's like champ 2. I don't think he's stand.
No, let him cook, all right? You know, you never know. We were just talking about players performing up to the pressure, right? See? Now, well, I'm selling you on it.
Yeah, well, it'd be funny, but it'd be mostly me making fun of Tommy for this one.
Maybe we get a staff versus RLSS game at some point, and then we can make fun of Tommy that way.
Well, this is already kind of a staff game, so just playing. If you want to think of it that way.
Only if I change my name to Mr. Chuckles. You know, for a bit I have a good time, right?
Make sure you guys focus on Twitter/X after this. He's going to change his name. While we're off topic, Affinity Reborn have told me they actually do have all their players, so they just, again, they finally got all their players on, so that's a good sign for what's to happen, and I think we should get into the series here. AnthonyMalum, a best of 5 to undefeated size, a #1 seed awaits. Who can win this match? It's 100x Chroma on the blue, Affinity Reborn on the orange. This series, this match, this final week determines the #1 overall seed.
Soj with the instant demo that sets up potentially to be able to run deep and give Affinity an early lead, but they kind of fumble a bit of the momentum gained. They've got to try to recuperate quickly to actually make a shot happen, and they're unable to do it. Instead, this is now turning into a chance for 100x Chroma early on.
Yeah, and one of the big issues that I've seen with Affinity Reborn most recently in one of their matchups against Galactic Nebula is that they overcommit often, but there's no overcommit there. This is 100x Chroma off to a great start.
Yeah, that was perfect. I mean, you can't draw that up better in that circumstance to be able to get through exactly what you need to get that early lead. We talked about them coming in as the underdog here. Everybody expects Affinity Reborn to come out strong, but they had their chance to come out strong, and it didn't work out. That's the type of stuff that 100x Chroma has got to continue to take advantage of.
This one continuing on, Chroma continuing to win the midfield, push ahead by Mokeo, Soj, Frezzo jumping in to get that 50, Chroma go up again, but Elites will keep it away, and game 1 still going on, Affinity Reborn still searching for their first real chances upfield on offense, and they're getting a taste of why this Chroma team's so difficult to play against, why they were a top-tier team when we saw them in the ATS Legends Cup. They just got such a strong team chemistry in that midfield, and even with Thunder coming in as that sub, it feels like things haven't changed all that much for the 100x35 side.
Thunder coming in as a sub, but that's 2 great plays in a row to keep up and keep the goals from coming through. But now it's a chance for 100x Chroma to come through, make their shot happen, but Elite's able to get control back and go back across the pitch, send it all the way through, and send it home to tie it up 1-1.
Elite's in a race to the ball. He gets past Frezzo, but Mokeo was right behind him, and that's the only way you can beat him. You gotta add pace. He puts in the pinch, and Affinity Reborn, their first of the series, it's tied at 1.
I mean, that was right on the line. Dude brought a protractor for that shot. That was perfect. But you got to continue that up to keep all of that on, to keep all of it working. And, you know, one thing Affinity was doing, they were getting caught repositioning a lot, and they cleaned it up for the shot. Maybe they can do it again. Mokio's there for the block, but already Soj follows through, passes to Tomato, but Freshzo is able to beat him out.
Yeah, and still, even with all these overcommits from Affinity Reborn, their offense is still probably the scariest in the Tsunami Cup. From all the teams I've seen, from all the matches I've seen, there's very few teams who can put anything up to stop Affinity Reborn. And their offense is one of those where you just can't keep them out. They're going to find ways to score. And you're going to see that again and again. And really for Chroma, the only way I can see them in a more simplistic sense being Affinity Reborn is just to outscore them, outplay them on offense, and in that midfield, because shutting them out is surely impossible.
Tomato with an ambitious setup there. It almost worked out as Elites was looking to get the setup on it. But now with the demo, there's another chance for Affinity, but still they're unable to get anything on target. 100x Chroma are looking to take advantage. They bring it back to that orange side. Now it's a pass for Mokio, looking for Thunder, but didn't have any speed behind it. So Affinity Reborn. Ping pong continues. They're going to look for it. Sets up for Tomato, who brings it up high. Sets it up, but no one's there for the follow-up. So 100x Chroma live to see another tie on the scoreboard.
No major opportunities. The defenses, strong as they can be, strong as they have been, no one is getting through, and these offenses are getting desperate, are getting more aggressive, are taking more chances. We could see some breakaway chances soon enough, as here's a flip reset, the fake! Oh, Soj! No way he's hit that! Affinity Reborn with the lead!
Okay, Soj pulling through there. We talked about putting them in this matchup, putting them in this tough spot, but showing up like that is what you have to do as the captain. Be the captain, make the hero plays, get shots like that ringing through, maybe able to do it again, but Freshzo will clean this one up and calm it down. 2-1 lead for Affinity. Could be another, but Thunder going to get there in time and get the save across.
Affinity Reborn has got to feel good at this point. After fighting so much in this game to get that goal, they finally do, and 100x Chroma needs an answer! Elites will block that one out. An open chance for Freshzo, but Affinity Reborn with one defender back will just have enough on it, and as time runs out, so too will their chances. They need more opportunities, they need to get upfield, and that's going to require them to commit more and more heavily and give up more space to Affinity Reborn, playing into what Affinity Reborn likes to watch and see, and unfortunately for 100x Chroma, they have to play that way. There's no other options to score against this side.
Affinity Reborn was trying to get some demos going to open up the blue side of the pitch to get some more aggression on, but it didn't work out because they didn't have anybody in position to get the ball going. So now with 100x Chroma with a chance, but Elites will be there to slow it down. Less than a minute remains now for 100x Chroma to get the tie online. Freshzo sees an opening and takes it and makes it 2-2. Massive.
He's always been that clutch, Freshzo, and he does it again. This guy, we've seen him on the stream so many times, and a clutch factor is always a part of it. 100x Chroma, tied game, 51 seconds left off the kickoff, looking for the lead. Freshzo again, flip reset, he's got it. Control, Thunder! Double, bumped away, and it will go back. Affinity Reborn, 2v1. Soj at 50 boost, waits on it. Thunder will send it away. But this is Affinity Reborn on offense. Chroma, the dunk, Freshzo again. This one just wide. Follow-up shot. Mokio! And it's a lead. Flipped to the 100x Chroma team. 31 seconds. The game's all theirs now.
They had to do that. Everybody got stuck at midfield. It was a party at midfield. Somebody had to break through, and it turns out in game one, the underdogs were ready to break through. Now 30 seconds to get a shot through if you're Affinity Reborn, to not go down that easy in game number one, to keep on fighting. But it's already 100x Chroma who have the first chance. Mokio gonna look for it, try to send it through, but Tomato's there for the block. 15 seconds left to go. Affinity Reborn have to make their play now.
Upfield, a mistake! The net's open! Elites, can he take it? Go away!
Elites will look for it. It's open, it's in!
Elites! Off the air! Makes them pay!
Elites pulls up so clutch. 6 seconds left to go. I'm not going to guarantee anything with this game, but we're looking at a potential overtime in game one. The matchup's living up to the hype. One more chance. Soj has to be perfect. He gets it. OT we go.
Nothing but perfection. That's all these teams can do. Overtime, golden goal. It's just game one here in this best of 5, but Next Chroma and Affinity Reborn here to play, here to show up. Soj couldn't get that one past Thunder. The pressure thickening here. You can cut it with a knife, but Affinity Reborn have to be the ones to show up. Chroma though, the underdogs pushing up. Fresno saved by Elites, and Next Chroma sent back packing. Tomato, 60 boost, a dream up front. The demo connects, but Mokeo swipes it away. Next Chroma live to fight again.
They're dropping like flies, but the ball's yet to find a home. Thunder gonna look to bring it through, sends it to Mokeo, gonna try to get the shot open for 100x Chroma. Soj and Elites are both there. Tomato sitting in the goal. Not gonna make it easy. Here's the shot. Elites is there to disrupt it. Not gonna let it through yet. Thunder will have another chance at it. Brings it home, but Soj is waiting. Now it's a chance for Affinity Reborn. Elites taking time, but Mokeo with the back to get it through. It's a new chance for 100x Chroma.
Breathing life into this game has been Mokeo, has been his offensive pressure. Next Chroma can thank him for why this game has been so close, and they now need to utilize it the best they can. Affinity Reborn standing tall, standing strong, but it feels a little bit weaker, a little bit more dangerous every single second for them. And Next Chroma, mistake! Nobody challenged, and it's Elites to end game one.
You had to watch him. You said it. We all saw it, but you had to watch him, and they could not do it. This game goes to Affinity Reborn.
The favorites in overtime. It was 2 mistakes for 100x Chroma that ended this game. In regulation, the double commit and the open net to follow. And in overtime, the non-challenge. That's all that it can be to determine a game like this.
That game got so exciting, my ring light fell. If that isn't the definition of what that game was bringing, I don't know what is. My goodness, what a game number one. Game number one, by the way. Just one.
We keep
got
going.
A whole night to go.
Oh yeah, we got more. Don't worry. This series has a potential to go anywhere. And that's the fun part about this. We don't know what's going to happen next. And man, what a match this has been to end your regular season as well. This has got to be something that everybody's been looking forward to, and I'm so happy we get to see it now.
My goodness. This is the lead up to playoffs? You're telling me that there's still playoffs to go after all this tonight? That's insane.
It is, but we still have more. Here's game 2, 100x Chroma looking to respond to take revenge that game 1. Even though they lost, you have to say in many ways, that's a win for them to be that close to Affinity Reborn. With a sub, mind you, Thunder isn't on this roster and has not played for them at all this season, so 100x Chroma, even with that loss, game 1 has got to feel pretty good for them. The fact that they're keeping it this close and they can only go up.
They can only go up indeed. 4:30 on the clock. Keep your eye on it. It's not going to be that way for very long if game 1 is any indication. Affinity Reborn trying to get on the board early. They're going to look for it. Tomato will bring it up. Has Soj lying in wait, but Soj didn't have the perfect lineup, so it'll go wide. And honestly, compared to how game 1 ended, it just feels like the calm before the storm. Maybe Tomato can get that storm going with Thunder, who had the reverse for the block, but was still able to make it work. But that demo sets up Elites to bring it through and look for it, but he's off the mark.
Yeah, just a little off, but you're looking at the offense here, Affinity Reborn, looking to increase that offensive pressure out, that offensive prowess, and you can understand why with how game 1 went for Affinity Reborn. They're trying to see if they can outplay Chroma and outpressure them and make them sit back further, but Chroma haven't backed down, and they won't do it here. Has another chance in front, so just across the net, and Chroma have continued to look for those kind of passes right across that goal line, right from the corner. It hasn't worked yet, but if they continue to elevate on those passes, Affinity Reborn, again, they're a team that does overcommit, and so at some point, those passes can succeed.
Affinity Reborn was so close to disaster. Fresh Zoe was almost in the perfect spot to be able to go through and make a clean shot, but didn't have any speed behind it. So now they have a new chance, but some time to work with. Soj has to be great on getting this thing cleared out. Gets the demo on the way through, has it to the ceiling with Elites waiting. Will he get the shot off? But KO says no. Able to get the block. Now Tomato with the follow-up. It's a slow faller, but Thunder is there. How many can you block, though? If you are 100x Chroma, because the shots continue to ring through. Elites with another, Thunder with another block. Are you kidding me?
You're watching it, folks! This is the Tsunami Cup! 100x Chroma, hold on again, playing Defense Simulator. And Affinity Reborn, at some point you're gonna see them give up opportunities, give up chances! But it won't be now! Tomatoes got the dunk, and Anemo clears the way for goal 1.
Wow. Out of all that offense, that's the shot that goes through. That gives Affinity Reborn the 1-0 lead. There were so many crazy shots there, but it's just the bloop. The bloop and the scoop. That's all it took. Now 1-0 for Affinity Reborn. They've got to continue to put the pressure on, though. We learned in the last game, 1 goal is not going to be enough in this matchup. You got 225 now to work with if you are Affinity Reborn to build on a lead. But 100x Chroma, they got to see that as a challenge, Sporty.
I do. I mean, game 1, again, they couldn't get that win, but they kept it close. Now it's about proving consistency. Can they do it again? Here's another shot, but okay, we'll keep it out. There's Chroma, the pressure's on them to show what they did in game 1, to do it all over. Their offense has been dormant, but it may not stay dormant for long as 2 commit. Here comes Thunder, stopped by Tomato. Frezzo cannot challenge, and 100x Chroma will go all the way back, and maybe back too far. That chance wide from Tomato, and nobody there to follow as Thunder will collect, and 100x Chroma will again just not find the offense, and I'm starting to worry that they may not even get the chance in this game because while they've been playing good defense, they've not found each other upfield.
They really haven't. It's been kind of the biggest problem, and so far I feel like neither team has identified problems. Perfect. Almost a shot there from 100x Chroma, going to be on the mark. Now it's a slow lower, but KO going to be there in time. Now we'll get it over the head of Elites. Tomato has to get this block through, but Fresh Show has an open net and a bonk in to tie us up 1-1.
Well, they've proven us here at 100x Chroma, and they do it again. Thunder to the back wall, Frezzo to goal, and this game, like last game, stays close, stays competitive.
Oh boy, what else could possibly happen at this rate, right? It almost feels like inevitability of these games going close, potentially going to OT. It's just non-freaking stop, Sporty. We have 1 minute left, but it feels like there's an eternity and also 2 seconds at the same time. It's a gross feeling, but it's great to be watching. Like you said, it's the Tsunami Cup. It's exactly what it needs to be. That's an open net. That's just a slow bouncer across the pitch. If that's the difference maker, 100x Chroma, gotta get your head out of the dirt in that moment and try to recover from that shot. There's still game left to play, but that was a mistake you couldn't afford.
No, you can't, especially not this late in game 2, especially not with Affinity Reborn having taken game 1. They really do need to answer here. I don't see them coming back from a 2-0 deficit, and that's why they'll attack. Mokeo's shot kept away. Soj will win this challenge. And Affinity Reborn wasting time off the clock as a free play for Tomato. 100x Chroma may have made a mistake here, giving him space because Elite's in front, but no shot will come, and 100x Chroma again continuing to play that follow-up game, the game where they have to just kind of chase after Affinity Reborn, and that's the game they won't win in. They have to make chances, they have to pave their own destiny here in this game, and as time runs out, that destiny, that hope becomes less and less, more and more futile.
20 seconds left to go, and we can see Affinity is just burning clock. Slow passes, slow shots, anything to burn it through. But there's a chance for 100x Chroma. That chance might be gone. Thunder can't hold control. 5 seconds left to go. It's on the Chroma side. This is that final chance, but the ball will touch, and Affinity Reborn will go up 2-0.
1 game away from a perfect season and from the #1 overall seed. Affinity Reborn have not been opposed by anyone in this season, and 100x Chroma will not be their first. A game 2 that looks a lot more confident from them as well, and I worry for 100x Chroma because the shots just weren't there. 5 shots to 9. They're just not going to win if their offense is this weak.
You said it perfect. You have to shoot to win, and if your offense is weak in this scenario, there's no excuse to just not make that the focus. Whatever it might be, whatever it feels like it is, you have to take the risk of trying to change it up. Change your shooter, change who's staying back. I don't care if you change who's grabbing boost first. Something has got to change because you're running out of time to continue your perfect season. We talked about momentum going into the playoffs, not worrying even about the results. You have to go down fighting.
And this is where you do it in game 3. 100x Chroma, with their undefeated season, It's being tested here in Affinity Reborn. Would love to snuff it out here in a 3-0 sweep. What a confidence booster it would be for them if Hunter X Chroma falls this quickly. But no guarantee. We've seen both these games be so close, and Hunter X Chroma have every reason to keep it going. But that one, nobody back, and Soj will get the finisher. Hunter X Chroma with a huge breakdown, and you just can't do that.
My goodness. Sensei Soj there with the patience. Patience was the only way that shot was going to work out, but there was so much of it. Soj did not rush through, didn't give up the opportunity, waited to see how it was going to work out with so many players making contact, and it works perfect for Affinity Reborn. And now if you're 100x Chroma, you're already on the ropes in your potential final game. Now you're even further in it. 2-0. Soj comes through again. 2 shots, 2 goals already for Affinity Reborn.
And there you can see the desperation of Fresno going for a challenge he knows he's never going to win. And Hunter X Chroma, you can tell they're grasping at straws at this point. This series has gone away from them, and that's the scary part about Affinity Reborn. They only get better, and they only get scarier. They know how to increase that aggression that they do in Game 1. And it's so tough to beat, because once they bring it, once they unlock your playstyle, you stand no chance. And for Hunter X Chroma, it feels like that chance has already gone past them. And now it's Affinity Reborn's game to win.
100x Chroma have got to make plays happen, but it's still Affinity Reborn putting on an offensive showcase here, and it's just a scrambling defense for 100x Chroma. Okay, we'll have a chance to get one set up. Fresh is going to be there for the follow-up, but Elites gets it underneath. Now Thunder able to find a home. Will try to do something, but Soj is there. Everything 100x Chroma try to do, there is an answer from Affinity Reborn. There's no opportunities to be had because every door is being closed, one after the other. There's no chance to do a Scooby-Doo run. There's no room for it anymore.
Yes, this is Affinity Reborn quite literally squeezing the life out of 100x Chroma here in this match. And for Chroma, they need to score soon. I don't think it's really not just for the comeback, for the fact that the series is on the line, but more for confidence. They need something, and this might be it. But Fresno's shot is high, and Mokale can't get the follow-up. 100x Chroma had a fleeting look at the net, but it was gone in an instant. And now Affinity Reborn are back in control. But Thunder, takeaway, drop down, triple commit from Chroma, but nothing will work. And Affinity Reborn will take it the other way. So's double stop by Thunder as Chroma continue to search and send everybody upfield, but never to score. And Affinity Reborn continue to just take it away from them. One goal after the other. Now it's free, and this game already feels like it may be away from Chroma.
3-0. 2:51 left to go, and Tomato is making shots on open nets. 100x Chroma now is your final chance. I said final chance of game 2. I said a final chance of game 1. This is it. It's time. It's put up or shut up. Like you said, just don't go down 3-0. Make something happen in these final moments so you have some kind of positive momentum to ride in the playoffs. Don't worry about the potential for reverse sweep yet. Don't let your mind wander there. Go back to every game being a best of 1. You have time to do it, but Affinity Reborn are looking for that final dagger in the coffin.
The end of their season, Soj, well, looking for that triple tap. He nearly got it too. Affinity Reborn just continue to put on that pressure, and what makes them so scary is the fact that every single challenge is connecting, is working, and they score again. It's Elites this time, and Affinity Reborn, the challenge game has just been too much.
There's just no match for 100x Chroma on those challenges. It's if Affinity Reborn get an opportunity, the opportunities are just goals in this game so far in game number 3. And 100x Chroma has just had no answer for it. In game 1, it felt like they were on the precipice of one, but it's just all gone out the window at this point. It's time for a drawing board. Mokale looking to be the one to put the first X on the board, unable to find it. Thunder will try to get it back for another attempt, but there's just no good shots open. Nothing to be had so far, Sporty.
Yeah, that was a great chance for Hunter X Chroma. You saw Affinity Reborn scrambling on defense, but it's the bumps that are saving them here. Elites with a bump there and a bump before, and he's just removing offensive chances through these aggressive plays. And Hunter X Chroma, man, they're getting very unhappy with this because these demos are increasing. And Affinity Reborn, they aren't changing. They're still playing better, and it's only making things tougher for Chroma when they're not present on the field to make that stop. As Elites, the takeaway, here's Soj, double tap, won't be able to get down for it, and Chroma will continue just to look look for these clears upfield and for something to work on offense, anything to work on offense. But Affinity Reborn continue to shut them down. Soj again, another double tap attempt, but still, it will go wide. But Affinity Reborn at this point, they don't care. They don't need to score anymore.
Just demo after demo. I mean, it's a mosh pit with no music so far for Affinity Reborn. No shot there for Fresh though, gets blocked out by Elites. And Affinity at this point are just playing with the clock and continuing to burn out that time, not rushing to make shots happen. But that demo does set up Fresh though, who has an open net until Elites spawns through, pops through, and blocks one out. Now it's another chance at a goal for Affinity Reborn, and so just still working on that hat trick, trying to bring another one through. Not going to be there this time. Another chance for 100x Chroma, but they can't find it. 30 seconds left to go and 4 goals to get through, and Soj finds the hat trick at the last moment.
That might be the dagger. That might be the goal to end this season for both these sides. Affinity Reborn, 25 seconds here to hold an amazing, an immaculate 5-goal lead. This season for them has been nothing short of incredible, has been nothing short of amazing. We've seen them on the stream before, but they've only gotten better, and not even on 100x Chroma, the only team that it felt like could really match up to these guys, can take them down here. Affinity Reborn just a level ahead, a level better, and 100x Chroma cannot break through. Game 1 was close, but ever since then, it was Affinity Reborn's match, Chroma's loss. They're undefeated, undisputed, undeniably the best team in the Tsunami Cup.
Undisputed, undeniable, unbeatable, and reborn is Affinity. They take it 5-0 and 3-0 in the series, Sporty. They just make it look as clean can be. And they begin the march to playoffs with the best type of momentum, a perfect season.
Yeah, there's nothing better than that for Affinity Reborn. What a match and reminder against what is also going to be our second best team in this cup as well. Yeah. You know, the team that has the second best record, not the second overall seed, but the second best record is 100x Chroma. That's the scary part. Chroma feels like the next best team, and they just got swept quite convincingly. I'm very worried if I'm any team that isn't Affinity Reborn.
Oh yeah, I mean, you have to. If I'm a team in playoffs, I don't care who you are going through every piece of film you can possibly find in Affinity Reborn, and you are forcing some kind of weakness to manifest to figure out some way to get around those guys. Because my gosh, I mean, what else could you possibly do in that scenario? It's just, it's tough.
Yeah, it is. It is so tough, so difficult to be that insanely top team. As again, we'll get these guys in for a quick little interview. I think we should talk with them. But the perfect season now to talk about here is Affinity Reborn 3-0. A perfect season, a perfect sweep, and a perfect way to go into the playoffs. Soj, what a season has been for you guys. There's no doubt about it, as I mentioned already. You guys have to be the best team in the league. How does that feel?
Well, I can't lie. Going into the season, if we weren't the best team, I would have been disappointed. Not gonna lie about that. So I'm glad we were able to prove that.
Well, yeah, you kind of can't dispute it. Sporty said that exact word, undisputable. But going in game 1 in particular is what I want to go back to start things off, because in game 1, it didn't look exactly undisputable. It was really close, and 100x Chroma came out swinging. What were the biggest things that sort of forced, if there was one, an adjustment from you guys, be it in comms, in play style? Was there one, or was it just we're all right, we got the win at the end of things, doesn't matter?
Well, I think in game 1, it was a mixture of things. Like, obviously, yeah, I think they played better earlier in the series, but also kind of as we were playing, we started to play better and better. So it was kind of a mixture of, you know, figuring them out, and then also just us warming up mechanically and as a team.
It was that warm-up, but after that warm-up, there's nothing stopping you guys, and it feels like it's the same story every single match you guys plays. You know, it takes you a game or two to get things sorted out, and then you just become unbeatable. And we see that again here. Elites, you gotta tell me kind of, that consistent gameplay. You gotta tell us, what is it about this team that allows you guys to do that? Because there's no other team that does it as well as you guys.
I'll be honest. I woke up 7 minutes, I woke up 0 minutes before the match. I hopped on and was eating mid-match. I think it's just these guys are so consistent with game time. And I don't know.
Anthony's laughing back here. You know, I wasn't gonna mention to him who was gone and
I'm
why they
eating,
were
bro.
gone.
I'm eating the
I
whole
knew
game.
I knew that Elites wasn't actually here at the match start time, and I wasn't gonna tell Anthony why he wasn't here. But
Oh, bro,
I guess Elites will tell you
Yeah,
anyways.
dude's got an elbow on the controller and a granola bar in the mouth.
Bro, I ate spicy food, so I was crying second game as well. Whole game.
Taking shots through the tears.
Yeah. I'll tell you why, bro. I just worked 12 hours. I came home and took a nap, hopped on. Fucking alarm didn't go off.
Well,
Yeah,
you
but-
guys are here. My goodness.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say you pulled through.
Yeah, that's the wrong person to interview question, man. I'll be honest.
Okay,
I'm
let's-
not-
then let's
see,
go
I'm glad he
Tomato.
did.
Tomato, get
let's
in here.
see. Tomato, do you
I'm
want to
in.
say something about that last question then? Because it feels like I think Elites is a bit too focused on his food.
Oh, you mind repeating it for me?
Sure. So we talked about you guys how this season has been every single match where you guys take a game or two to get things ready, to get things warmed up. It felt like game one was that. And then after game one, you guys just got so good that no one could beat you. It feels like every series is that. So what about you guys as a team allows you guys to do that, to, you know, run with this momentum so consistently?
Yeah, well, I know that we're working, on our mechanics, on our gameplay outside of matches. Our team typically does not scrim before games, and that kind of bites us in the butt at the start of the match, right? We're a little bit rusty as a unit, but as the game goes on, we kind of, catch our momentum. And I have to say these guys are consistent as can be, and our team is just, the best in the league. So that's just how it all is.
So my question, it's more geared towards Soj, but honestly, anybody can give their thoughts on it because it's a bit of a simple one. You guys are going into playoffs now. You clearly have the talent. You've got the undefeated record. Now you've got the momentum, which means the target that's going to be on your back and the research teams are going to be doing on you is going to be pretty serious. Do you have any direct comment, any exact feelings on where you're at, what your state of your team is going into the playoffs?
I don't think it
Well,
matters.
yeah, I was gonna say, I think the best way to put it is good luck to everyone else. I think everyone else is fighting for a second place trophy at this point.
Oh, well.
Sheesh, that's a strong statement. And don't catch elites hungry.
Do not catch them hungry.
Or eating
Do
spicy
not.
food.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
eating
spicy
spicy food.
foods.
If you want a chance, you gotta find him in between.
Yeah, you
Yep.
gotta get him ice cream.
That'd be huge.
To help counteract the peppers he's eating, or whatever it is you're eating over there. Elites, that is
I
spicy.
don't even know, man.
He doesn't even know. All right then.
He's holding the
food
controller
was-
and he's got
the
peppers
food was
sticking
brought
out
to me,
from.
man. I just ate it.
He just ate whatever.
He just
He's
ate
got
it.
he's got like a personal chef back there as well during his matches.
Yeah, he's getting fed grapes.
Yeah, during
Yeah.
during his match, he's doing the old sun. No, it's not sun. It's the Seabell. He's doing the Seabell treatment. You get someone to feed you during your match.
Or it's like a Scooby snack per goal.
yeah, or that. Whatever it is, it's working. Obviously for
Oh,
Affinity
Scoop! I
Reborn.
made the goal.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, again, congrats on your win though. Whatever you guys are doing, it's working. Even if it's a bit unorthodox, and maybe that's what you need to do to be so good compared to everyone else. Again, congrats on your perfect season on a sweep here tonight against the 100x Chroma. Before we go, we gotta do shoutouts before you guys go into the playoffs. Let's just go from the bottom to the top. Let's start in Discord. I should really mention, not from the scoreboard in general. Let's start with Tomato. Is there any shoutouts you have? Anything that you want to say to wrap up your match tonight?
Yeah, just a shout out to all the friends that have been watching me along the way throughout this season. Hugh Dog, I forgot to shout him out last time if he's watching. Shout out to you, Big Doug. And then newcomer Matthew, if he's watching as well. Shout out to him. About to play some RuneScape with that guy, so those are mine.
We'll now move to Elites. Is there anything you want to say, Elise? Anything you want to add to this? I know you're busy eating, but do you have a few comments that you want to make?
Shout out Tommy Buckets. I seen bro hyping me up in chat. What
Let's
a
go,
guy.
Tommy.
Definitely.
Just for putting it all together. Wouldn't be here without him.
Of course, and now we'll move on to Soj. Anything you want to say to end off this incredible season for Affinity Reborn and for what will be an insane playoff run? Reminder, these guys actually played last season in the playoffs here. Affinity Reborn, this roster, I think, is a little bit changed from that last one, but they lost in that first round to what was the eventual second place team, so they've got a chip on their shoulder. They've got a little something that they want to do. They got a lot of proving in the playoffs, but this season should be a good indicator of that. Soj, is there anything you want to say? Any comments that you want to make?
Yeah, shout out to shout out to all the guys. Shout out to the people who inspired me to get even better throughout the season and also last season. losing in that first round was not a fun experience. But we went into it knowing, like this is a team that will go far, and they did go far, and I'm happy with us taking them to that. But now I've got to prove to everyone like we should have been that team in that grand final.
Well, we'll see if you guys can do it. You're definitely the favorites going into that playoff. Congratulations on your win. Thank you so much for joining. Soj, Elites, and Tomato of Affinity Reborn. Have an amazing rest of the night, and good luck in the playoffs.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank you.
guessing as always.
Hello, AnthonyMalum. What a night it has been. This has been an insane match. It was a 3-0 sweep, but I must say, that's a statement to everybody else in that tournament, in the Tsunami Cup. The fact that Affinity Reborn is just getting better, and no team can seem to stop them. Is there any last comments you want to make before we're going to end this stream, and we're going to go on our ways for the night, and I'm going to go to my break.
Yeah, well, like you said, it was while a 3-0, that I feel like that game one alone did definitely make it feel worth it. An incredibly exciting matchup and fun lore behind it. You can't help but root for Elites. Dudes piling through spicy foods while playing on the pitch like that. Maybe we can work in some kind of contract stipulation. If he wins championships, Tommy has to get him some like spicy foods. Get him an assortment, a gift box, an Elites gift box. But no, thank you for having me on. Of course, it was a great game, exciting game. I hope you have an awesome break. I know you need it because you've been casting like crazy, plus working on behind the scenes stuff for here and elsewhere. So I hope you enjoy your break. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man.
And Mr. Chuckle signing off. You're welcome.
Yeah, there you go. I know. Again, working on 3 different tournaments, it's a lot of work, but man, it's gonna be good. Don't worry, I'll be back though in April. So if you guys are hoping to see me, I will be here in time for the RLSS Championships. I'll be here for I think the last ATS, the next ATS Cup that they're gonna do, which is their Pinnacle Cup, which is their unranked tournament. I'm gonna be here for the upcoming Women's Phoenix Cup that I'm gonna be running in late April. So we got a lot of things coming up, but yeah, I'll be off for a little bit, guys. Again, I apologize for that, but I do need a break. But for now, again, thank you so much for joining AnthonyMalum. If you guys want to support him, he's got a Twitter X account at AnthonyMalum, Twitch at AnthonyMalum. Just an amazing person overall. You'll see him a lot on this stream, trust me. And big thanks to Alligator Source, Juicy Berg, and Tommy Buckets for their raids this match. I couldn't get you during the series, but after I can. So again, thank you all so much for joining this play stream. To all of you who watched, it's been an amazing time. I have been so happy, so blessed to see you all jumping in every single series, but I'll be gone for a little bit. But when we come back, the Spotify stream will be here again. See you guys very, very soon.